I've got 6:32, calling the meeting to order. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda that may be amended?
So moved.
Second.
Any changes?
Yes. I'd like to move Select Board member concerns to right after the approval of the minutes. I have a quick thing I'd like to add there, please.
Okay, so we're not going to change it, we'll just add.
Okay?
So after approval of the minutes,
Yes.
and then everything else will go down one. Can I get a motion to accept the agenda change?
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the emergency select board meeting on June 15th, 2026?
I think,
I believe this was Union.
okay.
It's in our,
Yeah, no.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
June 15th was not union,
June 15th, yeah.
just a heads up.
Well, it says executive session, union, legal.
with Matt.
That we first started out. So can I get a motion? We're all here. All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of June 22nd? We were all here.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minute to approve the minutes of emergency select board meeting, June 23rd. I was not,
You are not, no?
I was not here. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of June 23rd?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I was not here.
I don't think I was here either. Oh, yes, I was.
Yeah, you were. Can I get a motion to approve June 25th?
So moved.
Second.
Vito, you were here, I was not. All in favor?
Actually, wait a minute.
Yes.
No, Vito was not. That
Vito was
that-
not.
I think
that
it's
should have
all-
said-
Should have been
It should have been
Should
Roger.
be Roger.
So
So
not
can I get a
Vito.
motion to change that to Roger?
Thank you.
So moved.
Mark Kent?
Okay. You three would have to make the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 25th, 2026, emergency select board meeting reflecting the change of deletion of Vito Resenes and addition of Roger Rivera.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Special board meeting of June 29th. We were all here. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of June 29th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I have a
Aye.
question.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, on the item 7, the budget discussion, okay, I was looking at the text translation of the Zoom, okay, and it was probably disheveled would be the best way to say it, okay? And so I went back to the actual Zoom thing itself, okay, and in that section, okay, Patrick was specifically talking about all of the notes associated with the budget.
Which bullet point are we talking about on 7?
Bullet point 7, it runs from roughly 33 minutes, 30 seconds to roughly 42 minutes, 50 seconds on the Zoom.
What was the time slot again?
Roughly 33:30 to 42:50.
42:50?
So it says Diane Elgin, town resident, asks if she correctly heard that the select board asked the town manager to eliminate one full-time position.
Well, yeah, but it was,
Well,
if
that's
you,
bullet point 7, I'll just ask.
no, bullet
I
point
think-
7 is the budget discussion.
The whole number 7 is what I
Yeah.
need, Jim.
And in,
All in number 7.
in particular, Jim, that first bullet point before you did the executive session,
Yeah,
okay, was Patrick basically reciting all the annotations to the budget.
okay, what would you like changed?
Well, I'm just wondering if we could get, if we...
There's not what would you like changed?
Well, I think what we need to do is we either need to attach the annotations to the budget, okay, where they were presented in open meeting to these minutes, or at least make a note, okay, that the information can be obtained from the Zoom video for those timeframes.
I move to table these minutes till the next meeting, please.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
So we're moving to hold off on the June 29th, and you can write something out to correct it.
Could be
Okay?
quite long.
That's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay,
Minutes, they're supposed to be accurate.
So,
okay,
Okay.
Great.
A motion to,
I'll do that.
take your motion away, whoever made the
Yeah,
motion?
I'll remove my motion.
For June 29th, who seconded it?
I think I seconded it.
Okay, so push this to the next meeting. July 7th, special meeting.
Okay, so we're going to need.
Once again, this is Roger, Bill, and John.
Yep, so this meeting, so I would like to propose an addendum to this. So we did initially adjourn at 5:05, however,
We entered back in.
we entered back into executive session at approximately 5:12 until 5:27, which included Select Board member half.
Yeah, but did you write that down?
I
or-
did not, but I can update it accordingly.
Okay, can we remove the motion for this?
Okay. Withdraw the motion to approve the minutes for July 7th, 2026.
And then can you please forward so the person that's writing it can
Yep.
write the minutes?
And we have in our packet of June 8th, Jim, as well, for minutes. We started on
Want
that.
to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of June 8th, 2026.
I'll second it.
Yep. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I just
So
let
we
I,
got a second, looks like we got a second, June 15th. Special, and an emergency.
we'll go through. I'm going to move on, guys. I have an iPad 56, wondering who that is. If you could just put in the chat who you are. And I have an iPhone 7, you clocked out. I asked before who you were. Can you please type in who you are so we can get down the names? So, number four is Selectmen's Concerns.
Yep. So, I was reading the Mountain Times this week, and I noticed an ad placed by my opponent for Select Board, Celia Clancy, which stated she was holding a campaign event at our town public library on Tuesday, July 14th, from 6 to 7:30. This is a clear violation of our employee policy, Section 9, political activity. I'm going to read it now. Section 9, political activity. No employee may use his or her official authority for the purpose of interfering with or affecting the nomination or election of any candidate for public office, or demand or solicit from any individual direct or indirect participation in any political party, political organization, or support of any political candidate. Employees are prohibited from using town facilities, equipment, or resources for political purposes and from pursuing political activities while working. This personnel policy is not constructed to prevent employees from becoming or continuing to be members of any political party or organization, from attending any political party or organizational meetings or events, or from expressing their views on political matters, so long as these views are clearly articulated as those being of the individual and not of the town. And these activities do not interfere with the individual's ability to effectively perform his or her duties to take place or are expressed during non-working hours. Nor is this personnel policy to be construed as prohibiting, restraining, or in any manner limiting an individual's right to vote with complete freedom in any election. Therefore, I urge our town library director, Jane Ramos, and Celia Clancy to relocate this meeting or this event to a non-town facility or town property. Thank you.
I would just say Celia is not a town employee or anything in that case, but the librarian should know the policies are there. So Celia is just hold on, Celia, this is just Selectmen's Concerns, so this is not your
Sure.
chance to speak. But I'm just, for the
Yep,
minutes,
understood.
I would wipe out Celia's name from there, but it is,
Well, I want it to be in the top part, please.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, like, to tell her not to.
Okay,
That
I'm-
is not her job. It is.
I'm not telling, okay.
Yeah, you're
All right,
asking.
Well, I'm going to repeat my last statement then. I urge Jane Ramos, our Killington Town Library Director, to relocate this meeting and event to a non-town facility or town property.
That I would agree with, but I don't agree with the other part,
Yep.
so, okay? And this is just comments and concerns of Select Board. There'll be a point here in citizens' comments and concerns next.
That's the only one I have now.
Okay, so I'll reserve mine for the end or whatever. John, do you have anything, or you want to reserve it till the end?
Actually, I'd like to go with one, actually, here, I think. So, do you have access to Zoom presentations that you can share to your screen, Jim?
Not right now, John. I mean, you guys got to prepare me before the meeting starts or whatever, like a day or two in advance.
So,
If you're going to want me to make a presentation of
No,
something.
that's fine.
Please
That's
come
fine.
to me before.
so
I know we don't talk, but we can talk one-on-one if you want to get something to me, okay?
So I will just say this, and I can show the audience here because it's pretty self-explanatory. So, let's see, going back to November, oh, no, wait, bear with me, it looks like it says November, if I can read it correctly, 14th of 2022. The Town of Killington Declaration of Inclusion. The Town of Killington condemns racism and discrimination in all its forms and commits to fair and equal treatment for everyone in our community. Our town strives to provide a safe and welcoming environment for all citizens and visitors. The Town of Killington continues to adhere to existing employment and harassment policy as it pertains to the town municipal employees. So, I was reviewing the other day the Zoom meeting from, looks like June 29th. In that meeting, Mr. Rivera was speaking, and in that meeting, right behind him, and because we don't have the ability to show you, right behind him was Mr. Gaeta, okay? I want to go back here real quick and explain something real quick. There's this thing in the world that's derogatory and racist. It's a monkey hand gesture. It involves the ears, typically refers to monkey ears, placing hands on the side of the head with fingers flapping. While this can simply be used to make a funny face, it can also be a deeply offensive and derogatory gesture to racism. So now I'm going to come back to the video. So in this video, at the meeting dated, again, 6/29/2026, at the 6-minute and 48-second mark, you will see Mr. Gaeta behind Mr. Rivera. And as Mr. Rivera reads, Mr. Gaeta waits patiently for his opportunity.
I saw it while it was happening, but what part are we at on the video
Well,
right
I'm
now?
waiting for it to cue in, where Mr. Gaeta does this derogatory and racist activity in the direction of a board member.
I wasn't able to.
Roger also mentioned it to me,
It's fine, I didn't even bother to look at it.
yeah.
Childish.
No, he didn't, but I'm disgusted by it, I'm offended by it, it has no place in our community. It's unacceptable.
I'm just used
You
to
can
it.
have any opinion you want in this
From
room.
the
You can
person.
say what you want, you can make it how you want, you can do whatever you want. Racism, sexism has no place in this building or in our community. And I'd like to make that clear, Andrew.
Thank you, John.
Bill, do you have anything?
No,
You don't? No. Citizens' comments and concerns, I'm going to start within the audience first, and I'll look from right to left. Patrick?
With the ethics investigation complete and the select board members having it for some time now, what's the timeline for it to be released to the public as promised by the select board?
The ethics complaint is not complete, Patrick.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is complete.
Okay. Oh,
The finalized report.
Excuse me, Andrew, can you please be quiet? The date that the ethics complaint was put out, I answered within an hour, Patrick, and said, my legal counsel will review it and get back, okay? You had it for 2 days, and then when you weren't invited into the executive session for your review as town manager, okay, you pushed it out to the board members without waiting for a comment that underneath the rules, that's supposed to happen. I advised the legal counsel, I advised the lady, Jonas, okay, to wait for my response from my legal counsel, all right? So it's not finished, and to give you a
What's the
timeline, the timeline, since you jumped it by handing it out, it will probably be responded within the next day or two, okay? So thank you.
Thank you.
All right? Anybody else in the audience? Lucretia, I see your hand up.
So I've heard some comments from people. It's very rude to have board members' backs to the audience. So I would really, myself and a lot of other people would
And me
really
too.
appreciate that if you can configure the table, you can put another table at the end so that everybody's at least facing this way. It is rude.
It would be really nice.
Excuse me, Andrew, stop. Lucretia Wanzer is speaking underneath citizens' input and concerns. And if you're going to keep on jumping in while other people are talking, I'm going to have to either ask you to leave, and if you don't leave, we'll call point of order, Bill, and then we'll take a 10-minute break, and we can do this on and off. We are in citizens' concerns and comments, and Lucretia Wanzer is making a comment. We don't need you speaking in, Andrew, just like when Patrick was speaking, we don't need you speaking in, okay? You can wait your turn, I hope. Lucretia would like to continue.
That was I had another one, but I truly forgot. So
It happens
it'll
when
come
people,
back.
it happens
No,
when people.
I forgot before I got
We have another one later on, Lucretia.
I've always wondered the same as a side note, but it's been going on for years this way, so I just assumed it was the traditional practice.
I think the issue is then is that we'll try it the other way, but then we're gonna have our back against
To
the
the
Zoom
video.
people,
Yeah.
Well, I
okay?
see your side,
Oh,
and
okay.
the camera does zoom in on you when
Yeah.
you speak.
Okay. Ken Wanzer?
In regard
State
to-
your name again.
Ken Wanzer, resident. In regard to what Roger Rivera said, his comment, his concern, okay, on campaigning, okay, I'd like the board to know that John, okay, Wasaki, when he was campaigning, okay, addressed the senior citizens at the public library.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Steve Feiner, go ahead.
Steve Feiner. The wording was, I'd like to suggest that the executive session be held in the front office, which you have done. But Jim, you commented that if people could hear, then maybe this wasn't the right facility to do the executive sessions or to have board meetings, and you would look into going somewhere else, and I'm wondering how that's progressing.
I handed it off, we said to the town manager to look into, but right now we don't have a town manager that is working and is on leave. So I also said, because words seem to get dropped, I said that this is a public building and this is what it was built for. We would look into it, Steve. We're still looking into it, okay?
Thank you.
Anybody else in the audience?
I did remember,
Go ahead, Lucretia.
sorry, before I forget again. Steve helped spark my memory. John, you mentioned in one of the minutes that was being corrected, I forget which meeting it was, that you had adjourned, but then at 5-something, but then you went back into executive session. I would question, if the meeting was adjourned, how could the board go into executive session?
It was emergency, but anyway, that will be in the minutes, and you know, as a clerk, that emergency meeting could happen after, it could be announced afterwards, but thank you for the comment. George Brandt?
Yeah, it's George Brandt. I'd like to know a time frame on trying to fix that access road. We could get some tar on there. And the other thing is, they haven't cut the weeds down on any of the roads, which is getting dangerous towards the houses. You know, some houses take care of their own front yards on it, but normally we have the mower that leans over and cuts down the edges around, so you're starting to make, hasn't been done this year, is what's going on. Or I
Thank you.
don't think it's been done anyway.
I have, just to respond to that quickly, I have seen the mower up in North Sherburne last week.
Okay, so maybe they're coming up. I just
Okay,
wanted to.
just so you know, I don't know what their schedule is, because
Okay.
we don't know. But they are out doing it.
Ken, we're going around the room, you've spoke once.
No, he hasn't.
There's a
Ken didn't speak.
yes, he did,
Oh, he did.
he did.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Your name?
Matt Zerby,
Hey, Matt.
Killington resident, proud farm boy. Not last week, but the 2 weeks prior, on 3 occasions, I noticed that people had taken their campers and dumped their toilet tanks in town. They always do it in, well, there's a couple of places they do it, just east of Base Camp Outfitters, up the road in between the Wobbly Barn and Northern Ski Works, and then again on River Road. The reason they do this is for convenience. It's not like a septic tank water, that stuff is biologically broken down. This is real nasty stuff. It's like pee and poop in a blender. And the places they dump it are always with a great elevation difference because it drains the tank as quick as possible. And it's rude and it's environmentally unsound. And I don't know if the town can come up with a fine and charge them for the cleanup if they get caught. I'm sure the state has a rule or regulation against it, but they tend to do it in these places where there's a great elevation difference. You can tell the campers are always parked very close to the breakover. Sometimes they hide the hose with kids' bicycles and chairs while they're having lunch. But everyone with a camper knows that they can go to a campground and pay $20 and handle it the proper way, but you can smell it when you drive around. You probably know, maybe can't remember 3 weeks ago, but coming up and down the access road, it was foul. I knew exactly what it was. It's not like roadkill or decomp. That's a different smell. It's offensive, but not as offensive as this smell. And in your discourse with law enforcement, perhaps they could debrief them on watching for that, catching some people doing that, maybe put up some signs, maybe make an extra special fine, $5,000 plus cleanup, and hang the sign up in those locations. There's a couple others in town. I know we love our visitors and the business love our visitors, but it's not very nice to us and it's not very nice to the environment. So I'd like that.
There is an ordinance in place for dumping, so talk with the police chief.
Okay, I think I just.
Anybody else that has not spoken yet in the audience? Andrew?
Andrew Gedda. I would like you guys to explain to all of us, how does this work? That the boss, your boss, Jim Patrick, was doing the ethical investigation, and you still voted to remove Patrick from the position. How is that even possible? 4 against 1. You should have recused yourself, first of all. Roger Riviera is like temporary here because in reality, voters approve and place people in place. You know, so right now you're just a vote, but that vote, in my opinion, is like 50% vote, or should never count. That's my personal opinion. You know, August 11, the voters, we have the chance to come and vote and approve the right person in place. Things would change how you guys can vote and what can you approve or not. So it's interesting, like, most of you guys here have kids, grandkids. Like, if you have a convicted felon that's proven that they did something wrong, would you entrust your kids to be in the same position, for that person to oversee your kids? The way I'm seeing this, we have Jim that's being investigated. He has the keys to the town halls, to the public buildings. Like, I don't believe there's trust in that person. And you guys are hiding the results. And let me quote you, Dave Atherton, when we sat down with him, and I looked into the
1
Heights
minute
illegal sale, Dave Atherton said, and I quote, "I'm not afraid of Jim Half because there's enough evidence to put him behind the bars." That was Dave Atherton's words. And other people know this. And that's why there's a group of us taxpayers who are getting together, getting the funds, and there are going to be a few lawsuits coming against you guys. And your names are going to be mentioned there. One of them is going to be how the select board sold the property illegally under the table. I'm referring to Heights that sold for $172,000. How the $461,000 out of that amount was
10
waived
seconds.
illegally. And we bought the town hall for $2 million, and yet we're firing staff and we're doing retaliation stuff. And let me speak about.
Time is up.
Do you remember the social security?
Patrick,
I
your
need
time-
30 seconds.
No,
I
you
need
don't,
30
stop,
seconds.
stop. Anybody else have something to say? Go
I'll give
ahead,
my time.
state your name.
Paul Levin, Rocky Ridge Road. I've sat on the outside looking in for a considerable period of time. I know a good many of these people in the room. Speaking personally, and with absolute callous disregard for decorum, I'm scared shitless of the financial ramifications that this town is staring down. One particular, well, any innumerable number of financial debacles. I sit wondering, in one particular scenario, the earnest that the town took to move town hall, a pretty robust, functioning property down on River Road, and opted to move up here closer to the access road, so be it. I started to look over a number of different things, RFPs to repurpose a building down on River Road. Why hasn't the town, in one fell swoop, chosen to divest and sell off publicly the old town hall? Anybody?
This is your time to talk.
It's just a singular entity, while everything else seems to be fraught with dead ends and financial debacles. I sat quietly wondering why the town put through a TIF that left us so legally,
30 seconds.
fiscally exposed. As someone who's been up here for 50 years and has now been up here 7 months as a full-time person, it's mind-blowing what they should be staring down fiscally. This
10
gentleman, who I
seconds.
don't know and I have no axe to grind with him whatsoever, when the whole world is seemingly falling apart, you're concerned with someone doing that. I couldn't imagine where you look at
Time's
that
up.
as a derogatory. What's going on with town hall? What
That's
goes?
it.
Thank you, Paul. Anybody else in the audience would like to speak? Not seeing any. We're going to go to online. Is there anybody online? And for those that are like saying, we have gone well above the 10 minutes, but if somebody wants to speak, go ahead and speak.
We're almost there, 9:32, but if people want to go, it's time for them to go.
I don't see anybody moving ahead, so I've got, Matt, are you on for ACT Computers?
I am. Hello.
How you doing, Matt?
Good. Sorry to hear about your Cisco system in there. What happened?
There's a cord that's normally here that would run from the TV that would go into my computer, and it's not here tonight.
Oh,
I don't carry extra cords around, so,
maybe we should keep some in the closet.
yeah, maybe, well, since we're talking with you, maybe we should set this up that people don't have to bring in their computers, that we can just work right off of, to get the screen going or whatever. So, but we can talk about that later. So, we've invited you to run through of what exactly you, Matt, with ACT Computers does for the town. Because there's a lot of questions that have been going on for many years of IT, security, and everything else. But I don't believe you're doing IT security. I just would like to know what you're doing at this point for the town. Okay?
I do a lot for the town. Of course, every department I set up new computers, I troubleshoot issues. I've installed new routers in every location with the Ubiquity high-end routers, which do have a lot of cybersecurity protection. I inform employees what to do, what not to do to be secure, and answering emails. There's just so much. I could go on for hours. Is there anything in particular you want to know, or?
I've been on the board for a while, and I've always gotten citizens asking, are we secured if somebody was to come in on the computer system? Can somebody get in, or how about this? We're secured, like you just said, through some cybersecurity. Is there any things that you can tell us that you may like to have done for the town of Killington to move forward, maybe into what Bill calls 2030, okay? Where would you rate our system at this point? And ideas that you think you can get us, or are we at 2030? I just thought it would be a great time to bring you in and get from there.
I think we are. I think we're doing a good job with the new routers. Everything is only as strong as the passwords that are created. General public cannot get into the staff networks. Each facility has like a guest network and a staff network, and the guest network, or the staff network, is firewalled from anybody getting in, including the guests. The guests have access, obviously, to the internet, but it's pretty similar. I've gone in when I've been working. I've changed passwords, especially to the server, administrative accounts, and the Microsoft 365 administrative accounts to a 15 alphanumeric password, so it can't be guessed. Well, not easily. And I've recommended that to people as well. But I think we're doing good. I think we're in the right direction. When I started, there were a lot of different IT people helping the different departments, and Chet was really the one that brought me in to do the rest of the town. I originally did work for Linda at the library, because I work with a lot of libraries, but I think it's going good. I think basically, if there's individual questions or something to address, just let me know, email me. I'd be happy to explain that stuff. Truly, the system is secure, and the only other potential issues or phishing attempts through emails. And I have sent a lot of employees ways to see if the email is valid or bogus by looking at the internet headers of the email. If you guys are not familiar with that, I can send that email to you guys as well to see, if you get an email that you suspect, and what you can do to look at it to determine.
So Matt, this is more of every year this question gets asked of how the town, so this is really now that what you're saying can get put into the minutes instead of just hearsay, going back and forth and saying, no, we're told that it's secured. So that's why you're invited here today, okay? Just to run through and bring us up to where we're at, and how you see the system, and if there's any suggestions that you have that you would like to do that's a little bit beyond what we're doing today.
There are some suggestions like redundant routers, just for productivity's sake. If one of the routers fails, since they're all the same router now, the Ubiquity, call it a UDM Pro SE, they're all the same routers at the police department, the fire department, the library, River Road office, Route 4 office, and the golf course. It would be nice, and we've talked about this, and Linda and I were going to work on getting a spare just to keep in the closet. So if one of the systems goes down, we just basically pull it out, put a new one in, and we're up and running, within an hour.
Excuse me, but who do you mean by Linda? Because I'm not familiar with, I don't know who Linda is. Is it Linda?
Linda Prine.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, she does a lot of the ordering when
Okay, thank you.
Go
I
in
just,
and-
because you referred to the library, and I thought there was a Lynn at the library. Now I know who you're speaking of. Thank you.
So, other suggestions I made, and Patrick agreed with this too, but we haven't gone ahead with it yet, is to do a redundant backup through a network appliance storage off-site, because we can create VPNs between sites. Right now, there is a VPN between the Route 4 and the River Road facilities, so the people at the rec center can get access to the files they're authorized for on the server. And with that VPN, basically, people from either site could print to any one of the printers on either site. So I was suggesting we put a network, we call it a NAS, Network Appliance Storage, at the River Road office, where the server can back up to that automatically every night, as well as the town clerks are backing up every night to external hard drives, and they are locking those hard drives in the vault. So it would be secure, or it would help in a catastrophic situation if something happened to the Route 4 office and everything, unfortunately, or whatever might have burned or whatever, we would have a backup of all the files off-site. There are also, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Matt. I thought you were done there, but go ahead.
There's also cloud services we can look into, but it's not really necessary, to pay for these services when we can do this in-house, because we have such robust networking equipment to be able to create virtual private networks between the sites. We could actually create one with all the sites, and everyone who is in the staff networks on all the sites could get access to the server based on their user rights and the files that they would have rights to. So it's a good system. It's ready to grow. If you need further work on it. And then, of course, the Microsoft 365 is a wonderful place to keep all of your emails. They have Microsoft is, obviously cutting edge, keeping everybody as secure as possible with the emails. There are ways, if there's any issues, we can immediately stop or put a hold on an email account and or release it in minutes.
So when you say we, who is we that can put a stop or a hold on an email account? Is it one person? Is it more than one person?
No, basically at this point, I have the ability to do that. And let's say if Patrick, as a town manager, said, we need to put Linda Prine's email on hold. And I go, okay, I can open up my app on my iPhone, which I carry with me all the time, and put it on hold. So it's when you're asking me the we question, who is it? It's basically the town manager. It's my boss, that tells me what to do.
No. Who has the access to do it? Is it
Oh,
just?
I do.
That's, you're
Yeah.
you're in charge of when you're told.
I am in charge of that.
You don't just
Yes.
put people's on hold. You have to get your boss to tell you.
You have to approve, right?
But there's nobody else in the office that can do that.
No.
Okay.
Questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, it's Roger Rivera. How are you?
Good, Roger.
So do you have all the passwords for all the internal systems as well that office employees may be using, such as NIMRIC, for example? That's the only one I really know about.
I don't. The only passwords I have, Roger, are for the server and for most of the town employees' email accounts.
Okay.
The NIMRIC stuff I have not been involved with whatsoever. It was usually Mona and Lucretia, when she was working for the town, had that stuff. But yeah, I really have nothing to do with the NIMRIC,
Okay.
because that's all online.
Okay.
You have any other questions?
Not at this, and if we need you, how do we access you, Matt?
You got my phone number. Jim, you have my phone number, right? My cell phone?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But this board does not, I can contact you on a zoning for my computer, okay? unless the board authorizes through the town manager or John, I think you are appointed now that you can talk to Matt, but the board has to initiate it,
Correct.
okay? So Roger, you can't
No,
just
I know that.
call up Vito, Bill, John, myself. I can only call up for me and as a zoning administrator.
Clarify,
That's it.
when I stated we, I mean we as a board, not individual members.
I just want to
Thank
make
you.
sure that's out there,
Yep.
that
I'll
this
clarify.
board is not making calls on its own,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So, John, you have a question? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so Matt, you said most email accounts. What email accounts would you be excluded from?
John, I came on and started working with the town in taking over the Microsoft 365 administrative role about 3 or 4 years ago. And at that point, as I was asked to set up emails, I would record the passwords. But prior to that, I do not have any record of those passwords. If there are any issues in the Microsoft 365 account, if an employee forgot a password or the account was put on litigation hold, I can go in and change the password. So, whoever needs to access it or the employee, give it back to them. But that's basically it. I just keep it for...
No, and I appreciate that, Matt, thank you, I understand that part of it. You said most emails, so does that mean there are some email accounts that exclude your knowledge as it relates to password information?
Wait a minute, say that again.
A few minutes ago, you said you have access and email passwords for most accounts, most, not all,
Correct.
but most. So my question is, there are still accounts that you do not have password information for, and if so?
Or was that a misstatement,
Yeah, I mean, if
Matt?
it was a misstatement, that's fine. I'm just trying to understand if there's, I'm just gonna make up a number, 40 email accounts, are you saying that you only have password information, login information for 35 of them, and there are 5 out there that you do not have access to?
Possibly, yeah, John. I haven't really
Could you audit that?
kept numbers. I haven't kept numbers on that.
Could you audit it?
But and basically, people can change their passwords. So if that happens and they don't inform me, then I don't have that knowledge of the password.
But
So-
at the administrator level, you have the ability to shut down anybody's account regardless of whether you have their password information or not?
That is correct.
And you could reset anybody's password?
That is correct.
Okay. And then one other thing, so as a municipality, we are required to maintain public records under the Vermont Public Records laws. So if we decided, somebody, whoever, decided they wanted to go through and start deleting their emails, would you have access to emails that were deleted a day ago, a week ago, a month ago?
At this point, no. That has never been brought to me to be asked to do. There are ways.
There's ways to do it, we'll leave it at that.
There's ways to do it, and we could just pay more to the Microsoft 365.
Yeah, and that would be one of the suggestions I think you bring to the board, okay? So I think that's one of them right now, that, so,
And those emails wouldn't exist in a system backup of any kind because they sit on the cloud? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. We can pay for an additional service to keep all the emails. It's per account. And users, can work with them and deal with them and do whatever they want and delete and put them in different folders.
Has anybody ever asked you to create such accounts so that we can maintain Vermont public records and be conforming with the law?
No.
So a
and
town manager
typically-
has never asked you to do this, Matt?
let's not get into that.
No, it's not about any one person. It's about whether it's been asked or not.
It has not been, and generally it was not necessary because email accounts are property of the town. So people can get access to it. If you think there is some misconduct
Well, no,
or foul play,
The point
that's
is,
a
Matt,
different
that
story.
if content, regardless of, it's not even about it being malicious, it's incumbent upon the town to conform with statutory regulation, in this case, to maintain public records. So we need to have this redundancy. You know, people should be able to delete on a local level so that their box doesn't get full of stuff. But we need to maintain those items as public records because we don't know what, if, when anything could be requested of us in an audit or whatever the case may be.
So I'm going to use an example as a zoning administrator, Matt. I'll step away from a select board. You know, there are accusations against me or whatever. And yeah, I probably delete 5, 6 emails every other day, but there are sales pitches from Vermont Bond Bank giving out a 4.5% bond and stuff like that. And I guess where John is coming from is that, you know, how do you know what I deleted if you don't know what I deleted? And you know, like, I can say, yes, I deleted stuff, you know, or I get sales pitches from GovOS or whatever every other day or whatever, and it's like, I don't need this on my computer, or the Vermont Chamber, or Chamber down in Cedar down in Rutland or whatever. But you have, when I delete those, you don't have any record of what I'm deleting. I guess that's the question?
Correct.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt.
So I'm going to make a motion at this point, right? Go ahead, Bill.
I have 3 questions, Matt.
Yeah.
Bill Vines, okay? First off,
Hi,
you
Bill.
mentioned backup, okay? Have you provided the town a quote in terms of how much equipment and software is required to put the backup system together that you had proposed?
Yes, to put the remote backup in, at least the hardware cost. I don't have that off the top of my head because that was a few months ago that we discussed this.
Okay. I think the select board would be wise to get a copy of that quote and look at how to authorize funding for it, because I think that's a bare minimum of stuff
It's
that
going to
we
be
should
one
be
of
doing.
my motions.
Okay.
Okay.
And so Matt, so we can-
That's 2 other questions.
I'm sorry.
Second question, Matt.
You're going to.
Okay. Do you have anything to do with application security for any application other than the Microsoft applications on the servers?
Well, it depends on what applications. The Microsoft applications, or any applications that are on the server, which are few now, they're the old listers software, or whatever that is.
Yeah.
But now they've all moved to Vision, which is all in the cloud, and they basically have their own passwords and deal with their cloud technical people. But the server itself basically acts as a file server. It's just a repository, you know, for, you know, budgets and whatever things you guys do in the various departments, town clerk work, and everybody has access to their particular folders based on their user rights and password to access those folders.
Okay, so you're not aware of any requirement in our RFPs for software services from people to review their security procedures, so we know, as John says, that they're maintaining our records should we need to get access to them.
The records on the server,
Well, for
It's
instance,
hard-
if we
it's
have
hard for me to
vendors,
hear.
if we have vendors providing us applications, okay, they're ultimately under the same record-keeping requirements that we are, okay, as a town, okay, because they're acting as our surrogate, okay, to deliver those applications. So we need to be defining those requirements when we write RFPs for software services. So,
right?
and
You have to let me know what applications you're talking about too, because it's, you know, basically what people use. What I'm typically involved with is documents, whether they be word processing, spreadsheets, and email.
No, I can understand that, and so basically you haven't been doing any clearinghouse function associated with that. That's something that we probably got to look at as we go forward with some new applications. And then the third question, Matt, and, please don't take this incorrectly, but you have all of the passwords for all of the servers and anything. Are you a single point of failure in that, or did you file those on, with the town clerk for safekeeping?
Yes.
Okay, so you did.
Yep.
Very
Not
good.
with the clerk, not with the clerk, they're with the administrative assistant.
Not with the, okay, but with Linda. Okay, thank you very much. Very good.
Yep.
Vito, you have any questions? So, Bill, would you like to make a motion of the one?
No, I'm,
Okay, go ahead, Tom.
So Matt, you said you had done a proposal for some service upgrades. Approximately when did you do that? And I just need to find it, so when was it? Like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 2 months ago?
No, it was earlier in the year, and it was basically just to have redundant services for fail-safe.
Do you still have a copy of that proposal?
Say what?
Do you still have a copy of that proposal?
It was an email.
Did you delete it?
No, I haven't. I would just have to look. I mean.
Okay, great. That'd be great if you could forward that along to Jim, please, and John. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's basically, like I said, all it is just to buy a spare router, so we
Sure.
can be up and running within an hour, and then the potential to have another redundant backup of the files on the server off-site and have it automated and going through the VPN.
And perhaps,
Those are those.
when you find that and forward it, perhaps you could add the costs to upgrade the Microsoft 365, please.
I think that was what Bill was,
yeah, we just need,
Yep.
we need to look at
Thank
the
you.
backup strategy, so we, if
The Microsoft 365, I'll tell you, it's $3.60 a month per account more
okay.
to have a full
And what,
backup of all the email.
and do you know what the current cost is per month per user?
Oh, that's efficient.
Yeah, well, the current, yes, I do.
Yes.
Current costs, depending on what account, because we have Microsoft 365 Business, which is an email account and the use of Microsoft Office on 5 devices. That is $13 a month. People who have just email accounts, like for instance, when we set yours up,
Yep.
that is $4 or $4.95 a month. But we can add 360 and it can be all $3.60 plus their
This is
taxes.
close enough for me. Go ahead. And
It
then
can
this-
be, upgraded. So it's, and I try to keep a good eye on that because Microsoft, if you take somebody off or delete an email account, they don't delete the license. They keep charging you for the license. So I've been really keeping an eye on that so we're not wasting money.
Thank you.
Reduce the amount of licenses, et cetera.
You got another question?
No, I mean, that's not, we should spend that money, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill, did you have a motion you wanted to make?
I'm not sure how to do it. I think the motion is asking Matt to resubmit his quote to the town administrator so that it could be provided to the select board to review and to consider budgeting.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay?
Any conversation? All in favor?
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion.
Sure, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to have Matt provide all password information to the keeper of records in the town of Killington, and so we have them on file in a centralized location.
Who is the keeper of records?
To the town clerk, I
The town
think.
clerk.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just,
Yep, no, I'm just saying.
I'll second that.
Yep.
so, can you re-say that? Can you re-say that motion?
So I'd like to make a motion for, let me just confirm, I want to make sure I get it right, Matt at ACT Computers to file with the keeper of records, AKA the clerk in the town of Killington, all necessary passwords for all of our servers and, I guess probably not email, well, and emails as well. Any password information that is contained in Matt's knowledge and records should be provided to the keeper of records.
Can I ask you to please withdraw that and wait until legal gives, get a motion for me to move forward with your, and I will go to
I'll
legal?
withdraw the motion pending legal
Okay.
advice.
Okay. can you make a motion for the group to have me contact legal to ask the question?
We'll make a motion to have the chair, I'd like to make a motion to have the chair of the board reach out to legal to get legal opinion on having our IT service provider bring to the clerk to put on record all password information as it relates to town business, including email.
Can I add to also ask the town legal, who is the
Keeper of record?
keeper of records in a town, just to make sure?
I'd also
because-
add that we would like confirmation that the clerk, town clerk, is in fact the legal keeper of records in the town of Killington.
I'll verify that that is true through legal counsel.
So moved.
Any questions? I'm just going to throw one out that I believe you said that the administrative assistant has what? Passwords?
I have locked notes in my Apple account, since I use Apple devices, on my iPhone and on my iCloud. And in that locked account, in that locked note, I have all the information pertaining to each department. And that would be what they have for network equipment, what the passwords are, how to access that, what the passwords are, and what the Wi-Fi systems are, and how they are, how their networks are segregated so they can't get in. Then
I was getting to, Matt, that I thought you said that you have that, and then one of the questions Bill had asked was, does anybody else have? And I think you said that the
Yes.
administrative assistant also has passwords.
Yes, every
And
so often.
Right.
Go ahead.
And
Every
all
so
I want to
often,
make sure is that when I'm going to legal, is to find out who is the keeper of records, and if we're doing this correctly. I don't want to have Matt having, and then an administrative assistant having, and then having another person having, and then maybe, it's supposed to
That
be.
weakens the security.
It weakens the security, and if one person already has, then
We just want to make sure it's the
want to
proper
make
person.
sure who is the keeper of records in the town of Killington, okay? That's what I want to make sure. You are not the keeper of records, Matt, I don't believe.
Well, I've never heard
No,
anybody
he's-
tell me that, so.
That's
It
what I'm
just-
making sure of, so we just
Yeah.
want to make sure that we're doing this right, I think is where you're coming from, John?
I want, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that.
But I want
these
just to have that, I'm
records-
gonna find out, and I understand that we have somebody that has all the passwords to emails. Does that same person have all of the stuff that's locked in your phone, passwords to systems?
Yes,
Okay, so maybe
Yeah,
that is the clerk of the records. I will find out.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that he gave Linda a copy, so I mean, that's.
I'm saying
that's a good thing.
administrative
That's a
assistant. I
good
don't
thing.
wanna put
Our
somebody's
administrative
name out
assistant,
there.
it's good that the administrative assistant has it.
Right.
Okay, but passwords and everything are kind of like policies and procedures, and I think those are usually permanently maintained by the clerk's office, as an example. Okay, it's not that,
That's
not
what
that
we're
people, not that people don't have them to work with, but that's usually where those reside.
so-
And so I think your motion is correct, to figure out where to put them.
Okay, so any other questions? On the board, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Let's move on.
No, I'm gonna make a motion, since our town manager is on administrative leave at this moment here, and one of the things we could not do, because none of us could do this without a vote in open session or whatever, I would like to authorize Matt to put a hold onto the town manager's email account. So no access for the town manager while on leave to access the town, he can, I guess,
That's fine. That's a good motion.
not to access the town computer system at this time, email or anything else, because it is going through that, we made a resolution the other day that, to contact John and I if any information is needed. So I believe everything is good, but I don't think the town manager would be going in, but we need to make sure that it's on hold, because we would do that for anybody's computer system that is on administrative leave. So can I get a second?
Second.
Can I interject for a second? If we put these on hold, who is going to get current town manager emails to continue to conduct business for the town?
So when we say hold, I think what we're talking about is an access point and use. So I would think, even though if we, maybe the better word may be to change the password and logins and update them so as to prevent any undue access. Because the email needs still to come into the town manager account.
I'm going to make it simple. Legal is advising myself as the chair to have all access by any employee that is on administrative leave, okay? So you're in charge of, and have a motion on the floor to say that when we tell you, or the town manager, when the town manager is not on leave, tells you that this person is on administrative leave, you are right away to put that access to that person and position, whatever, on hold, okay?
Okay.
We will figure out who will get access from there after this motion. So my motion, I will change my motion since no one checked it, to just say, for Matt to be instructed that any person that is put on administrative hold, in current administrative leave, currently the town manager's account is put on hold.
We actually would consider calling it a lock. We
A
would
lock.
the-
Okay, a lock. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Just a quick question for legal purposes. I'm presuming that the attorneys go back and forth with one another. Should information be required from anybody, okay, for the activities that are going on? And so who do the attorneys, well,
Well, we'll
part
get
of
to,
this motion?
that's not part of this
What?
mean,
no, it's not part of this motion, but
Okay, so
I mean, and I'm just trying to
I know,
figure
I
out what
think
the
we-
process is, so that's all.
Okay, maybe hold your question for after this motion.
that's a question afterwards.
Okay, that's fine,
All
yeah,
right.
that's fine.
So, any other questions?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bill. I guess he has a question.
Well, no, I mean, just,
That is something different, and that would be in legal.
yeah, I presume
would be
that
an
goes,
executive
I presume
session
that
for
goes,
legal.
I presume it goes lawyer to lawyer, and then it gets brought to
We
us
can
through the
talk
legal,
about that in
legal
legal,
process,
if you
yeah,
want
okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right, so, Matt, so you've got two instructions from the board. One is to come back with the quote that you gave out on doing some little updates. I'm really glad to hear that, being on the cloud is really a big protective, and there's other protections that are in place, okay? So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you're looking into, and you are looking into with the manager, of trying to update some items in the system, and especially having an extra one on hand of a router in case one was to go down, instead of waiting days for one if we had to. Thank you for the presentation. All right, and so get the quote to us, and if you can put on hold and go from there.
Lock.
Okay?
Put on
Lock, put on lock.
A lock. Can I just ask one question of you? I mean,
Sure.
the town manager's email account is important for the day-to-day operations. Would you like me to put an autoresponder and forwarder? So we can lock the account so nobody can have access to it, but it can forward the emails to someone of your choice, or whoever should do that, and then an autoresponder to say something of that nature.
And the board will discuss that in an executive session, of who that personnel shall be.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I think you definitely need
Yeah.
to keep the town running.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
I understand that. That will be later on, where we'll most likely after this, we're gonna make a motion to go into executive session for legal, so. But we'll get back to you in the morning.
Okay,
All right? Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Got Recreation Department discussions. Hey, Rebecca, want to state your name and,
Rebecca Claffey, Director of Parks and Recreation. I think there's 2 agenda items on there.
can you lower that?
I think the first item was a petty cash, so rec can have be able to have petty cash to access. Right now, the lifeguards do have something for stuff down there that's concessions. We're looking for something about $500 for rec to have some of the stuff that comes up, like during the summer, we had a swim meet that was on Saturday. We don't know the swimmers that are swimming in that meet until Thursday before, but we're expected to show up with money to that swim meet, so the process of getting a check takes a lot longer. It was like $180, $10 per swimmer for 18 swimmers. So to have something that we can at least be paying on time. Luckily, the swim meet this weekend, we have a good relationship with that rec department, and they're like, okay, get it to us when you can. But it just helps. We've had that happen a couple of times, to just have $500 petty cash. That was the first agenda item.
Can you tell us how that would be secured anyway?
Well, I have a lockbox or like a little cashier's box that I can lock up, and I can lock it in a desk drawer in my office. I don't have anybody else to.
How would we track those expenses then?
You'd have to write them, everything would have to have a receipt. We would have receipts and everything. I'm not talking about like having it
Cash register will do that for you.
cash registered.
Yep, if it locks,
I
though.
don't think we have a
Hey,
cash.
just- George, please
Yeah.
stop.
I think I'd have a lockbox. It's a receipt, it's stuff for receipts.
Do you have like a serialized receipt book, with numbers, serial numbers?
We could do that, for sure. I could
That
get
way.
one, like, where you write it, and you got
Yep,
the little
yep,
yellow thing and the
yep,
little
yep,
white thing and the pink
yep,
slip, and,
yep,
oh,
yep.
yeah, I have no problem. I could even use petty cash to go buy one at Staples.
There you go.
No, I could I would absolutely keep receipts with all of that stuff and write it down. And then, in addition to having the cash with whatever we purchase, right, we get a receipt written up by.
Okay, so would you have a procedure to reconcile that every month or every quarter or some period? Just
yeah.
to make sure that everything's accounted for?
Accounted for, and then I'd have to work with Monica, our treasurer, to make sure I'm reporting it properly back to her and to Mona for like, okay, because even though it's petty cash, there are things that should hit certain accounts, that should go against the swim team restricted fund, if it's, like, that's what would have hit this weekend. So I would have to have a process to go over that.
So how often would that happen?
As frequently as Monica would want it. If she wants it weekly, I'll do it weekly. It's Monica and Mona. I'll do whatever they have to
Probably
put
something like
everything.
monthly.
It could be monthly. I don't anticipate that we'd hit it that often, to be honest. There's just been a couple of things over the summer where it's really been a problem. I don't even anticipate needing it in the winter as frequently, to be honest.
Okay.
I'd like to make a suggestion, instead of it being at the rec department. When I worked in an office setting a long time ago, there was always petty cash, but it was at, let's say, in this case, it would be in the treasurer's office or the clerk's office, and it would be there.
Okay.
And so in advance, and instead of waiting days you know that it's there, and you're asking from there, instead of being in a separate building.
Love it. I would prefer that. Takes that I'm fine pushing responsibility out.
And then there's $500 in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then when let's say this Saturday, you take out $180 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the board will be making a motion to approve up to $500, for a $500 petty cash for the rec department. We may get there for the fire department, that's a little bit later on, I don't know, but can you explain before we go with this, how come you need cash instead of a credit card?
Oh, so the credit card, I was not able to pay. The rec department wants a check made out to or cash. They do not take a credit card. The swim team that we needed to do does not have a credit card machine, similar to if I had something come in, I don't have a credit card machine. If someone came up with their swim team dues or something like that, so.
These payments are due immediately?
Yeah, we had to have them. You're supposed to show up to the swim meet with a check in hand, and we just don't have a process to turn checks around that fast. From the time that we know the number of swimmers that are gonna actually swim in the meet and commit to it, to turning that around, and it's not, we just don't have a process to do that. That would be,
So I just want to make sure that this is not a process to bypass the credit cards when they can be used.
oh no, we use the credit card, yeah. The other issue, the other, I would say, example we had was, the Green Mountain Movers went to a state park, and it didn't take it, it was like $1 per head, so they didn't, the camp counselor did take that out of her pocket. They couldn't use the credit card there for whatever reason. I'm laughing because the receipt that was given back was hilarious. It was written on like spiral notebook with other stuff on it. Yeah, so they weren't able to do that there either. It was like an $18.
Right, the Green Mountain Movers are one of the camps
Oh,
that
camps.
operates.
Yes,
The
sorry.
town operates, excuse
Yeah.
me. It's not a moving company.
No, it's not a moving company. The Explorers, the Green Mountain Explorers.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, sorry.
No, that's
Yeah, they're
okay.
the guys that get in the van that we
No, no,
have.
that's fine.
And go. And so that was like another, that would be great to have petty cash for her to do that. She did have the credit card and wasn't able to use it.
Could I get a motion for $500 to be kept at the town clerk's, in the treasurer's office for the rec department,
For petty cash for the rec department.
for petty cash, $500?
So moved.
And I get a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Lawnmower purchase, can you explain why we're here for a lawnmower purchase and what it's for? And when I say why we're here, what it's for,
Yep, to mow the lawn. No,
that's something I would say.
So we had a mower. My understanding, and this is anecdotally, I do not know where it came from, but anecdotally, it was supposed to be replaced 2 years ago. That mower broke in mid-June. We took it to get fixed. It cost about over $1,000, almost $1,100 to fix. It proceeded to break again, fell apart. We're at the point now where it just needs to be replaced. We're being told by multiple people the mower is done. We have a short-term contract in place. We do have an employee. Geralt was nice enough to use his machine. We have a contract in place to pay him by mower hour. To use that is a short-term contract. It is not meant to be long-term. It's to get us over the hump. So that we can get the lawns mowed, because it did break right before 4th of July, which would have been a problem, to have the grass as long as it would have been. And we are midsummer, but we need to get a new mower this summer. We're not gonna last. I can't keep using an employee's mower even with that short-term contract in place. It was asked of me to go out and get 3 bids for mowers. I don't know a ton about mowers. I did reach out, I talked to some people about mowers. I wound up getting 2, and I included the email from the third place that said, I'll get you stuff tomorrow. Chad from the garage was helping with this as well, and he didn't get a lot of feedback from places, but we have 2 mowers, and I learned a lot about mowers. So we're looking for a 0-turn mower that can mow between 12 and 15 acres a week. A 0-turn is far more effective and fast. I know there's people on this board that could probably speak to this far better than I can. I was looking for something that was at least 60 inches, 60-inch deck to mow. I think we decided, or I guess I decided after hearing things, that fuel injected was better than a carb with a choke for service purposes. So these are the estimates that came back, and I will just say they're from 2 different places. One's in Vermont, one is in New York. I could get them, it would not take, the New York place would deliver it to us at no cost. The place in Vermont, we could probably go pick up on our own. I think this is more, though, looking into a mower. I don't mind any guidance on this, but for what we need, I think we're looking probably somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000. The 2 quotes you actually have in front of you, one is for $10,200. That is for a 60-inch deck, zero-turn mower. That's, you know, pretty good and is fine. We do not need to mow a lot of hills. Our rec fields are pretty flat. I'm not looking for something that can be on huge side hills. The Trim-A-Lawn quote is for a much bigger, it's a 72-inch deck. I think it would actually last a lot longer. This is something that was, I think, called like a leftover. It's something that's in stock from last year. So it's a good price. It can typically go up to like $18,000 or $20,000 for this mower. So this was just offered, and both places said, if you know what you want, we'll come back with something specific. So my guidance was, I need a mower to mow rec fields for something that you have in stock, because I do need it and I can't be waiting a long time for it. And I could go back and cater this with more guidance if we got that. It was pretty fast turnaround from both of these places.
So, first, I'd like to say thank you to Garage for stepping up and being willing to subcontract his machine only to the town. That was gracious of him, and it was appreciated. As it relates to the two bids, they are significantly different machines. So, you know, our needs, I think, in my opinion, are commercial in terms of longevity and maintenance costs, so on and so forth. It's a 72-inch cut versus a 60-inch cut. I did look at the machine that we have. It's currently a 72-inch cut. It's like a 32 horsepower machine that we have now, diesel. And these are both gas machines, but the Gravely is a 31 horsepower, so it's going to be more in line with what we have in terms of ability to cut through heavier, thicker grass. Also speed, so in terms of productivity from the employee's perspective, I don't know how much of his time he is or isn't spending now doing that mowing, but on a 60-inch cut at a slower speed, it's going to take him longer. So, and if the machine's not going to last as long, then I think that, you know.
Yeah, I think the one,
presents a nuance.
Trim-A-Lawn one, definitely agree. I think it is a sturdier machine. I think it is, but I can go back and do more work. If you want me to do more homework, I will, like, I learned a lot about mowers that I didn't know before. But I agree that this Trim-A-Lawn bid is a heftier piece of equipment that goes faster and mows a wider swath.
Can you tell me where this money would come from?
Win the lottery? I would have to come out of our capital funds, really. I mean, I think this is probably some type of capital use.
How much is in your capital fund for?
Well, when we did the van, there was some, I don't remember how much. There was enough to cover this. We had like 5 figures multiples. If I'm like, you know, so like, was it like $30,000 or $40,000 in there? It might have been more sitting in the capital fund. I go back and look at it.
That was after you purchased the van?
Did you ask the operator what his preference might be?
Didn't even have a chance, because the bids didn't come in until later. I'll be honest, like, I wasn't prepared to make a recommendation at this point. I know we need a mower. I was looking at like, what is about the cost, and if you guys are okay going down this road,
What, if we approve this, how fast can they have the mower here?
I could,
I'm vehemently opposed.
they're in stock. I went like, seriously, guys, like, what do you have
They're
in
How
stock?
fast can they have it, do we know? That would be something.
If you order tomorrow,
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
personally.
could get it this week.
Personally, I am vehemently opposed to Geralt using his own personal business mower for town business. I think that is really, to me, it's completely unacceptable. I know you made an arrangement with him and you need to get the rest,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's just my personal opinion.
I'm against anybody using any of their own stuff anyway, okay? I'm just looking at this quick, the Gravely Pro is 15 miles an hour. This other one maxes out at 10. It's a 6-speed on this Gravely Pro. It goes on here, 7.8 acres an hour. You're telling me it's 15 acres around? You're talking about 2 hours. This other one here, when I'm going through it, it kind of makes it look like it's more of a residential unit than a commercial unit. So I'm going to make a motion for Rec Department to move forward with purchasing the Gravely Pro Turn 572 Kawasaki zero-turn mower model 99251.
This is bullshit. You guys need to do a better job.
Can I?
Vito Rosena's mowed for a living for 40 years.
Can I get a?
Let's not even hear Vito's opinion.
Excuse me. Stop. If you want to continue, we could all take a 10-minute break because of Mr. Gita.
Can you guys allow people to speak?
Point of order. Can I get a motion to recess for 10 minutes?
So moved.
Thank you. All right, everybody, we're going to come back.
I can't even, my tool. Yeah, totally.
Motion to reopen from our break.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any motions? You got something? to
Yeah, I
finish,
just
Bill,
got
while you
some, during the timeout, okay, I did look up the town report. Okay, the recreation does have a capital fund balance forward, okay, in fiscal year 2025, the actual was 116,000 and change. Okay, the estimated for fiscal 2026 year end was 146,000 and change. Okay, so
And then they bought the bus.
And then they
Not
bought the bus, right.
The van.
The van, and that was
So
a
they have well
$37,000.
over 80 grand.
well over 80, and that is separate from the pool fund.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
so they have money in their account to be able to do this.
So my motion on the floor is to go ahead and purchase the,
PT 72 Gravely Pro Tour,
correct.
turf, probably.
So that's my motion. Can I get a
Pro turf.
second?
Second.
Bill, I think we've finished the discussion on the money is there.
Oh, yeah, the money's there.
And that's what
Yeah.
the money is put away for.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask one last question to Rebecca. How old is the machine that we've had?
I don't even know.
About
I-
15, it's about
it-
15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
It came from the
yeah.
golf course.
Well, it came from the golf course. It was given to
Yeah,
the
it's
rep
about
from the
15,
golf
I
course.
checked.
Okay, so those that are out there that complain, it's about $1,000, it's about $1,000 a year or whatever for the last one we got, 15 years out of it, and I'm sure this one will last just as long, so.
Well, and there should be salvage
Yeah.
value to it as well.
Say that again?
So did you mention the price?
$14,939.20, okay?
Delivered.
Delivered,
Delivered.
compared to $10,200 for a smaller, slower, less commercial, okay? All those in favor in the purchase of letting Rebecca move forward with the purchase of this tomorrow morning, say aye.
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 Sign the you have something else, Rebecca?
So thank you.
Sign the NBRC resolution authorized official. So this is something that, it was town manager, I think it was finance director and the town manager, and we're gonna keep it as the town manager, and we're going to add, Lisa Davis Lewis as the, town planner. So can I get a motion to remove the finance director and replace with the town planner, Lisa Davis Lewis?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? And I believe this is just for a signature from the chair of the board. So can you please make a motion? The motion is to include me on this, okay, for the signature? So
Motion to, let me find the form.
it's right here, the resolution.
Okay, the motion for the Town of Killington Select Board, a resolution authorizing that Lisa Davis Lewis, who is the town planner, is empowered to act on behalf of the Town of Killington as the authorized official, resolved by the Town of Killington Select Board of the Town of Killington as follows. I don't need to get into the grant
Can you just
stuff.
make the
So a
motion?
motion for the chair of the Killington Select Board to sign this resolution as read.
So moved.
Second.
Any questioning? All those in favor?
Aye.
Signed. Lisa, are you on?
I am on.
So you're up next here, the Act 250 certification for 10-acre jurisdiction. Can you run us through that?
Sure. I think as everybody remembered, in April, the town of Killington adopted subdivision regulations. And by adopting subdivision regulations, that gave us the ability to go from a 1-acre town to a 10-acre town under Act 250. But in order to do that, we have to make a request to the Act 250 board and get put on the database as a 10-acre town. So we just need authorization to sign that form so we can submit it to the Act 250 board.
Would that be your signature as the town planner, Lisa?
No, I think it's probably Select Board Chair.
Okay. Can I get a motion for the Select Board Chair to sign the Act 250 certification for 10-acre jurisdiction?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, just so you know, anyone can look this up, but right now, underneath the 1-acre rules, it's if you have up to, is it 5 lots, you stay within the town? Once you go to 6, or is it over 6? It's either 6
No,
or...
I think it's 9 lots.
No, underneath the 1-acre rule,
Oh, the 1-acre rule,
it's 6.
yeah, I think it's 5 lots.
Once you go to 6, you would have to. This here, underneath the 10-acre rule, if you have a 9-lot subdivision, you will not have to go to Act 250. And then also in the commercial area, there are
It goes from
certain
1 acre to 10 acres.
10 acres.
Yeah.
There are some exemptions in the 10-acre, and maybe hotels or something like that, I'm not really sure. But it is a step moving forward that we're out of Act 250 on certain things with that subdivision change. Can I get a motion for the chair to sign this?
So moved.
I have one question, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay, and I
Well, I think we need to make the motion first so you can have a
He did,
question.
and then you make a second?
Yeah? Okay, now you can
Go
ask
ahead,
questions.
Bill.
Okay.
It's procedural.
one question, it's, and this is just procedural, and I don't mean to be a pain in the neck, but where you're the ZA, okay, I'm not exactly sure what this position is authorizing you to do, and I just want to make sure
This is
you don't
just
get...
saying that we're going to file a piece of paperwork with the state of Vermont
Okay,
to put on the
So
database
it's just
that we are
filing the
a 10-acre zone.
good,
Right.
okay.
And
I
after
just
this,
wanted,
it's over.
I just want, oh, good, okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't get into any conflict of interest situation.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, that's
Okay.
fine, I just wanted to make sure,
I appreciate that, but it's just a filing
Okay.
of a form.
because I know how...
And there's no
Yeah.
conflict because this is in front of the whole board. This is no greater
No, I
of
understand.
anything to me than it
Yeah.
is to anybody else in this
No,
town.
I understand, I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure.
So, all in favor?
This was the last step in the process
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we needed to do.
Okay.
Okay, Vito said aye. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I'll get this signed to you tomorrow, Lisa, and drop it off at your desk.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Air compressor purchase for fire department. Mr. Finer, I just want to say that the other day I had the buildings and grounds facility maintenance person approach me, Tori, and say that you were asking for a compressor, and he wanted me to approve it, and I cannot approve something on my own for a purchase. I need the board here. So I asked him to have you send me an email, which you did, so I can get it on the agenda. And since then, you've also put in for a $28.95 screwdriver, and you've also...
Set.
Oh, a set, okay, I just saw a screwdriver, okay, and figured it might have been for a truck or something. And you also put in today for, I think it was from Harbor Freight, and I know the brand name, probably Harbor Freight, for a toolbox that was $600 or
Right.
$599. Can you also tell us the price on the air compressor?
It was in that thing I sent you.
Yeah.
I want to say it was, I don't have my,
Roughly. Phone on me. Okay, so it
4,000, like 3,000.
it was like $3,100, I
Yeah,
believe.
it was-
Okay,
And
so-
just so to clarify, that's for the building.
right,
It
that's for
also
this,
supplies the police department
right,
with air.
right. The
Building is
airport,
plumbed,
right.
the compressor that is presently here, Roger, you'd put a bigger one in your garage.
Okay. No, I wouldn't, because I don't want to do any of those kinds of, pneumatic tools and me are not happening.
So I have this down for a vote,
you.
but I just want to go through, like, when it was Sherburne Volunteer Fire Department, I just remember seeing like a purchase order that would come from, and it would never get to the board. I don't even know if it would go up to management. It would be just like, you have X amount, you would go and check with whoever and say, we have X amount of money in this account, because you referenced account numbers to pull it from. We have X amount of money in here, we're putting in a purchase order in for this. And then it would be purchased that day. Is that how it was running?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't how it was run.
It was,
I think that's, so Mona, can you explain how it was working?
Yes.
Okay.
When the president would bring down the purchase order and give it to us, then it would go to the town manager to be approved. And if it was, the town manager didn't feel he could approve it, he would bring it to the select, would be signed off before anything was purchased.
Yeah. And it would be like white, yellow, pink slip or whatever?
And then, yes, we keep those out there.
Do we still have those?
no, they went away with the corporation.
Okay. Can
I
we-
mean, they're easy enough to get.
Okay, again, so I'd like to get a motion for the fire department at this time to move forward with the air compressor purchase, the tool box purchase, and the screwdriver set.
Can I mention that the compressor comes under the building facilities budget, not the fire department, just for clarification?
Wherever it's gonna go to, that it's
Okay.
properly done, okay? And that there are funds, once again, in all of these funds, you know,
So the current compressor, I assume, is undersized for the facility, is that what you're saying?
I can't hear you.
The current compressor is undersized for the facility?
Oh, way undersized.
And what are we gonna do with the old compressor? Did it fail, or is it just needs to be upsized?
I don't know what the building would like to do. The town owns it.
No, that's what I'm saying, it just,
Yeah,
do we?
does it work?
yes, it works.
Okay, so we're just upsizing for
Right.
for the purpose, okay.
Hopefully someone else in the town will find a use for it.
Maybe Gerald at the rec.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor. Does somebody second it?
Second.
Any conversation? This can go out since I can go to the public because it's down there and saying or whatever. So if the public has anything, say your name and then that way the minutes are written.
Paul Levin, mechanic of 45 years, compressor tech for 40.
Not 44.
40.
No, I'm sorry.
40.
I couldn't hear what you said. I apologize.
This is not an ultimatum or a threat. Do not buy a compressor at Harbor Freight.
It's not coming from Harbor Freight.
The toolbox is coming from Harbor Freight.
The toolbox. Compressor Ingersoll Rand.
Okay.
What do you
Thank-
recommend?
Well, we're not, whoa, let's not get it, this is coming to the chair. Let's not, no, Paul, you're doing perfect. I'm talking about the other folks. It's not coming from Harbor Freight, okay? So, we'll go from there. Is there any other folks that have a question, and maybe to the person, but just direct it to me? Like, what would you suggest, and then I can go back to that person, okay? Go ahead.
Mark Dinges, 40 years' experience. What compressor would you recommend?
If you're buying an Ingy Rand, you're fine.
Thank you. Next, state your name.
Andrew Gather, can you please guys be consistent? When you were approving $15,000 tractor purchase, you did not ask public for comments. Here you're asking public for comments. Makes no sense.
Thank you. Next, anybody else? Anybody online? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Can I get a motion on the table that we move, for the time being, that any request from the fire department, the police, from any department that needs to buy something from, that using capital funds that are already stored away? Well, you have small equipment fund, it's actually put into a reserve fund, I'll call it a capital or whatever, reserve fund. Just send it to Mona, and then Mona can forward it too, so you're just not sending it to me. And then the board can put it on the agenda. okay? At that time, all right? We meet every 2 weeks, so hopefully you can get stuff going. Because as Mona had just explained to us, that it wasn't just put a purchase in and buy, it was put a purchase in and the town manager would approve it, and then if the town manager felt needed to get board approval, the town manager then would go to the board, okay? I thought it ran the other way, so, okay. I'm going, I see you, okay? So, go ahead, Linda.
I'll talk with Mona.
Yep. I just didn't know, he's been sending order things to me, just so I back up Mona. Is it okay if I participate in the order situation as well?
Well,
Send it to both of you, you guys.
if that's what you're doing, if the department send it to Mona and to the administrative assistant, then keep doing that. I'm
Okay.
just trying to take me out of it as a single select board person.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's all,
Yep,
okay?
just making sure.
I mean, I think like the $28.95 screwdriver set, you could have just taken the credit card and spent it, okay? But like a $600 or $1,000, a $3,000 expense, I think is where the questioning's coming in. So the motion is on the floor to allow this purchase to go, these three purchases to go forward. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm going to make a motion that as long as the funds are in the account, okay, for police, fire, rec, that, or, what was that? Highway, okay, that they send to Mona and Linda, and if it's under $500 and the funds are there, okay, for $500 total in 1 week, that they can go ahead and move with that.
So moved.
Second.
Any conversation? Question?
Within that 2-week period, between meetings.
Yes.
My hearing, was that a total of $500 for the week or an item?
Total of $500 for each department,
Okay.
okay? Per week. It's per week, okay? Because then you'll get through this week now, and then we meet in 2 weeks from today, okay? So the funds have to be available. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Select Board Subcommittee on TIF report to full Select Board regarding Killington Road Phase 2, otherwise known as the RAISE grant, a traffic signal at Dean Hill Road, and increasing pavement depth. So the board had made a motion for John and I to sit in on some of these meetings. We sat in with VHB and Du Bois King, what is it, Ken Roby, and we went through that. We have an ordinance in town for traffic lights, and the ordinance, the traffic light ordinance states there shall be a light at West Hill Road, Dean Hill Road, and up by Choice's Restaurant. It's really not a road, it's 2 driveways or whatever, so it goes to the lower of the old Outback Pizzeria across to Choices. We were advised that probably we really shouldn't have an ordinance on traffic lights.
Correct.
We were told that there was a study done, and 1 item passed for the 1 out of 5, I believe, Lisa, steps. She's shaking her head yes. 1 out of 5 steps stated that we can have one at Dean Hill Road. John and I are suggesting that we do have a traffic light at Dean Hill Road, okay? But not one up above. There was no showing in any of the traffic studies that it was even close. The one on Dean Hill Road showed that 1 passed, that it could, and a couple of them were almost there, Lisa? I think you're muted.
Yeah, so I mean, the point is that the signal on Dean Hill Road does not meet traffic warrants. However, on a busy Saturday, I think we all know that there is a delay, being able to make that left turn from Dean Hill Road. Furthermore, so a signal would be helpful, on that condition, and a signal would also help to create some gaps in the road, which during Saturdays, it's, from the side streets, it's very hard, can be hard to make that left turn. So that's the decision. I mean, it's really the select board's call on whether they want the traffic signal. It's not warranted, so it's not something that we must put in, but it's something that the town could elect to put in.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that light was probably put there because the firehouse used to be there.
No,
There was two
was two
lights
there.
there. One at the
Okay.
firehouse and one at the...
we're only talking one.
Okay.
So a question, are we going to have control over that light where we can shut off, it's,
Seasonally and whatnot?
no, I don't want it running any beyond the weekend, or unless we have specified holidays or something, like we have on West Hill Road now, because I know there was an issue before that we did not have control over the light to make it a blinking light per some kind of state statute, but, that's what I'm asking. Are we going to be able to control it to
It's
turn it
not a
off?
state statute. We have control
Whatever, I'm
of
just
the-
saying that what it used to be,
We have control of the light at West Hill Road.
but we
I
didn't
bel-
used to.
We have control of the light at West Hill Road. I'm moving to today. And I believe we could also set any light if we wanted to just the weekends, okay?
Yeah.
To follow that there, all right?
Okay.
We're just gonna go around
It's-
the room first. I see your hand up. So, then,
And by gap, she means traffic, so it creates, by creating a stop, we get a void. With the void, people can pull in and pull out.
I used to have a house in the neighborhood and business in the neighborhood, and that gap is important.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
yeah, it is, especially,
On a busy Saturdays and
Or
holidays.
holiday.
Yeah, it's very important,
you know.
yeah.
And it's our-
I
one
do
of our
want to
bigger-
add that our traffic engineers, are not fans of traffic signals that, we manipulate, where you go from full red to blinking, they don't think it's safe.
Yeah, so they must not like Rutland City too, because the traffic lights go off at 10 o'clock every single night. If you're
Right.
ever in Rutland City, the lights go off at 10 o'clock on the dot. It goes to
I'm just-
flashing.
I'm just relaying,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they're saying. I'm not,
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, they also love cobblestones. So,
I do have I think the Dean Hill Road, okay, on the choices, traffic light, Lisa, on the design going forward, is there some sort of pedestrian light up on the hill somewhere in that area? I'm just curious about where the design is,
no, there's no pedestrian lights, but there are a lot of pedestrian crosswalks. And the pedestrian crosswalks will have what's called RFID, the rapid flashing beacons. So that's what we're recommending.
Okay, so keeping that light up there in the short term is, doesn't matter, basically, just, it's moot. Okay, just want to make sure.
yeah, so I'm not going to the audience, because this is really not a vote, it's an update, but you are the police chief?
Yeah, solely in favor of that. It also creates traffic breaks, so it's not a speed zone from K1 down to Route 4.
Exactly.
So it'll help slow traffic down, for sure.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So then, the next topic that we were talking at is increasing the pavement depth. So the bid was for full reconstruction, the original, Lisa, which meant
Yep.
the sub-base also. And after talking for about a half hour, it came around from Ken Roby that if we were to rebuild the sub-base of what we have now, it would be less, the rebuild would be less than what we have. And Ken Roby has, so that this, back in the day, they actually built the sub-base deeper than is required today, okay? And we're told that the sub-base is really good. What we were then told is that it's the pavement that matters, okay? And that the job that they're talking about at 7.1 million, okay, is a full reconstruction plus 5 inches of pavement on top.
Actually, now I'm reading 6 inches.
Okay, 6 inches on top, okay? And then there was a second bit that came in out of this conversation where they would do, can you read through that? It's 8 inches of,
No, he changed it. It's,
okay.
oh yeah, no, he didn't. It's reclaiming 8 inches of the sub-base and 5 inches of new pavement. And would be a $4 million cost.
But we were also told by our person hired on that's working for Du Bois and King that the sub-base is in great and not to remove any of the sub-base. There was, then it took a half hour and came around and said, Route 7, when Route 7 was built and just asphalted, okay?
The busiest road in the state.
Busiest road in the state, he told us. They did it to 10 inches of pavement. And what he explained to us, because of all the truck traffic we're gonna have coming up and down the road over these years or even like right now with construction going on, that if you take 5 inches of pavement and you put these heavy things, it's compressing that. But if you have 10 inches, it's gonna last longer. And then you get into your 10-year where you would reclaim, I think he said 2 or 3, you mill 2 or 3
Mill it
inches.
and then rehit it.
And
Yeah.
that was at how much, Lisa?
So if you add 10 inches of pavement and retain the existing sub-base, we're at $5 million. So again,
Instead of
it's,
7.1 or the 4.
yeah, it's over $2 million less expensive than the original option.
So,
And this was the one that the V-Trans, I think, engineer had
Suggested.
Yes.
at a meeting a month or two ago, we were discussing the structure of the road, and I thought we were required, according to the specifications in the RAISE grant, that it was supposed to be a full rebuild going down 4 feet. What changed?
I believe it's going to be that the engineer, Ken Roby. Go ahead, Lisa.
We did geotech. We did a lot of they did a lot of borings, and realized that the
Hey,
substance
Mark.
material
We can hear you.
was you can't hear me?
No, we can hear you. We heard somebody in the audience.
So when we did the original RAISE grant, we did it based on a conceptual plan, and the thought at the time was that we would do a full reconstruction. But when VHB, after we awarded them the contract, and they started, before they prepared their conceptual plans, they had geotech done, and they did numerous borings. And those borings showed that the sub-base material was in excellent condition, and that's when VHB came in and recommended that we retain the existing sub-base. And then Ken Roby, who is the town's engineer, because we don't have a public works director, and he is a PE, and he's working for the town, he was the one who recommended the same, because he said that the sub-base that they put in, back in the 80s is far more robust than any sub-base we would put in today.
So the answer to your question is that the engineers will be able to approach to the RAISE grant through the state, through the federal government, because that's what he's in charge of talking with, whatever, to move forward for us to use the existing sub-base based on the geotech.
So we're going to be
survey,
able to
whatever.
modify whatever
And
our
we'll be able to
contract is on the
modify,
RAISE grant.
And this will take $2
Okay,
million
okay.
off
All
of
right,
the
no,
original 7.
I like that, I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, we're not voting on this.
And in that, there was a lot of discussion about the fact that we had resurfaced and obviously rebuilt East Mountain Road. And with the base camp project, the amount of truck traffic that we've seen and the shoulders already breaking was a driving force in the conversation to say that we really want to make sure that the access road is built appropriately. So if we have to spend a little bit more money, as it turns out, it's a little less money, to have a material-based surface that will withstand what's going to happen with the village. I mean, the village project's going to be 20 times or 100 times bigger, whatever the exact number is, than the base camp project. And it's going to result in a lot of traffic up and down the access road with wear and tear that comes from that.
I'm all for it, I just
Yep.
want to know what happened.
I think it was a really good lesson, this meeting, to learn that maybe all of our roads, when we get into reconstruction stuff, we do a test on, seeing how the sub-base is. Because I think up on West Park Road, we would have found out it was bad because there was tree roots and stumps and everything else in there. It wasn't here on this. So this is just an update to say that they're gonna come in here, hopefully in a few weeks, with a plan to us, but we've ended up saying to keep the traffic light in at Dean Hill Road, and I believe we're saying to put in the 10-inch worth of, and keep the sub-base the same.
Okay.
So, it does not say a vote here, but since I see some conversations going on in the audience, does anybody have anything from the audience that they would like to state or ask? We may not have the answer, okay? Go ahead.
You're saying that's the, George Brandt, you're saying that's the access road, because that's got nothing to do with East Mountain Road, correct?
Correct.
This is for Killington Road.
Overall, only because East Mountain Road sub-base is just horrible, but.
Right, and I was only referencing that as a
Okay.
point that we've seen what's happened with the lower part of East Mountain Road with just the traffic for that smaller project
The
as
sub-base is
compared to
really bad.
as compared to what's going to happen as a result of the village, so.
And the water project.
And the water project.
I like what you guys are doing, because when they did Route 4 in front of my store, they did it properly, and that lasted, that's going on probably 12 years now, without redoing the whole damn thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good deal, it's a small move.
Okay.
Thank you, George.
Anybody else in the audience? Just state I know who you are, just state your name though, so they have it.
Paul Levin, Levin, waxing a little bit historical, back to the time and term of Seth Webb. Not that I have a dog in the fight, the subject matter was, and it seems to circle back around every 3, 4, 5 years, the endeavor to summarily close the slip lane at West Hill and the K Road. I spoke at a public meeting, parenthetically speaking, to a standing ovation when I explained that as one who teaches defensive driving, track driving, I said, I spoke at length, and I'll try to give a Cliff Notes variant of it at this juncture.
I really hate that this is for a traffic light and pavement. They will be coming forward to the board with public hearings, and we'll be getting into the slip lane and sidewalks and crosswalks and all that other great stuff that everybody, but this is just an update on a traffic light. I know where you're going, Paul. I know where you're going.
I'm glad you do.
Okay, but I can tell you also, what they're talking about is cutting into the island and making a dedicated right-hand turn and cutting off the slip lane. But everybody can have their conversation when that comes out for, Lisa, it still has to come out for a public hearing, correct?
There will be some public hearings, but we're moving forward with preparing preliminary plans because there was a series of public hearings when we came up with the Killington Road Master Plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with that. There needs to be another hearing before, you can't sit here and say, we're moving forward. The board is, and the board needs to have another public hearing so the public can speak. Doesn't mean that anything's gonna get changed, but the public needs to be able to speak.
Well,
Okay?
we had a public.
We had a public hearing.
Right.
I make a motion that we have a second public hearing for the Killington Road Raise Grant Project. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay?
Real quick.
I appreciate the clarification and the correction.
And Paul, just to understand, just in summary, your position was the slip lane should go away?
No, categorically.
No, okay, I'm sorry, I just.
With great brevity on my part.
We're not dragging you into this
I know.
either.
With great brevity.
Oh my God, just stop. Not you, him, okay?
With great brevity, it was explained there would be innumerable accidents because on a snowy, icy
We'll
road,
get our chance
you're
at the
not going to
next
slow
hearing.
people down.
Okay. So now I've got review and sign annual internal financial controls checklist.
I have a question on the traffic light.
Go ahead.
The Patrick Cushing, do we have an updated price on what that was cost?
This here is just where John and I sat in and were suggesting, and we'll have all the pricing coming together when we have this public hearing,
Sounds good.
okay? Rob Kowalski, say
Yes,
your
Rob
name.
Kowalski, just a quick one. So, estimated time frame when construction?
We have no idea.
Okay.
This is just
An update.
an update on a traffic signal light at Dean Hill Road and the
Thickness of the
depth
paving.
of the paving. We will have a public hearing where it will be able to open up to all the other questions.
I didn't mean to
Okay,
public
thank
hearing
you.
the first time.
I'm sorry, but review and sign annual internal financial controls checklist. I'm going to make the motion to sign the internal financial controls checklist for municipalities, cities, and towns, document referenced in 24 VSA 1571D. Just to get a second, please, so we can have a conversation.
Second.
Conversation.
Well, the only question I have well, two-thirds the way down, it says that, does each town official have copies of these policies and procedures? And there's no acknowledgement, yes or no. And it says kept in a central location.
I have a bigger issue that we're having a forensic audit to find out how our financial controls are, and
Yeah, I mean, my question would then be, about halfway down, has there ever been a theft or unauthorized use of town funds or equipment? And I think that's where the forensic audit will hopefully find out if that, hopefully that has never happened. But,
that's why I have an issue of signing it at this point.
yeah, so that's kind of where I was going.
There's a forensic audit in place, and, Bill, any questions? Or
Yeah, I mean,
comments?
I was very queasy reading this.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, when I say, do you reconcile bank and ledger balances?
I don't know.
Monthly, because we know that there's some issues on how things are reconciled. Okay, that's not to say that they don't reconcile it, but it seems like that there's some improvements that need to be made.
Right.
Also, do you always provide a numbered receipt for any cash payment made to the town?
Yeah, so I think Jim's motion to maybe table this till completion of our audit.
Well, my motion was to move forward to sign it. I'll withdraw that motion.
Well, I guess before you withdraw it, is there a statutory requirement that we have a document on file even if, because this represents the
I
best
think there
belief of the treasurer right now, that doesn't, I would assume we could make an improvement on it. Yeah,
I'm going to say there is, Bill, because at the top, this form says, internal financial controls checklist for municipalities, cities, and towns, and then it says document referenced in 24 VSA 1571D. So I'm going to assume there is.
so, yes, right.
I don't know, I'm going to assume because it says it here.
So that'd be the only question, do we need to have a document on file? And
We'll-
understanding that it's
We'll
a work in
ask, and then
progress.
we'll bring it up at, I'll remove my motion.
So we table it?
I remove my motion. Who's
Second.
second? Okay, can I get a motion to table this to the next meeting, and we'll ask,
So moved.
So moved.
you know, ask,
Seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Community Bank Bond Anticipation Note of the $1.5 million, or whatever. We voted on it, and I did put an email in after talking with Patrick last Thursday or whatever, and I'm waiting for a call to come back from Ashley. But there's a document that needs to have a date on it, and I'm not exactly sure what the date that has to be put in there. So I am just giving you that we authorized this 2 meetings ago, I believe. And it was still sitting on the desk, waiting for a date to be filled in on it. And I have an email in, and I've also, like you guys had said the other day, John is included on the email, and I'm just giving you an update on it. Hopefully, the way I read it is just saying the date that we had the meeting, but I'm waiting for an email to come back, and Ashley was on vacation. So hopefully, I will get a phone call back tomorrow. Okay? It's just an update. It's no questions. It's no answers. Okay? So, citizens' comments and concerns going in the audience. Name?
Mark Dingus. Who is responsible for the day-to-day job locations for the highway department and what their job entitles, what they're supposed to be doing during the week?
We have a road foreman.
And he decides what jobs need to be taken on his own?
He is a road foreman. If you want us to find out, further, we're just the select board, and normally we run underneath the town manager, and then the town manager would take it from there. Okay?
Okay, so you had a resident on the other side who brought up a question about the weed trimming. That was answered. You said you saw it out there for...
I saw him on my road, that's how I know he was there.
Okay. The second part of his question was the access road. It is becoming dangerous. I'm an Airbnb owner. I have guests who are telling me what is going on with this road. The other day, just south of Schoolhouse Road, a motorcyclist was coming down that road. There is a pothole there that is approximately 15 feet long. It has weeds growing out of it on one side of it, and there's a hole in the center of it that's got to be at least a foot. Luckily, he got caught in it, but he got himself out of it because I almost hit him head on when I was turning on the Schoolhouse Road. This has to be addressed immediately. The highway department needs to get in there and either fill it or scarf the road down. I don't know what everybody's waiting for, but it is a dangerous, dangerous situation we have here, and it needs to be addressed immediately.
Thank you. Anybody else? Name?
George Brandt, I think he's absolutely right. I get complaints at my store, people that are staying up here, and I just give them excuses about us putting lines in and stuff like that, but you could just tar that road in those pieces and get it done. I don't know, we should just get on it. That's my feeling anyway.
No, we can't just get on it. It's over $200,000, I believe, and we need to put an RFP out. I'm going to leave it at that, okay? Anybody else in the audience?
And Regetta, I've mentioned before that last year, under Freedom of Information, I received 165 pages for the section of the road between Killington Road and Anthony Way. And among those documents, I received taxpayers, Eva,
I would prefer you not mention somebody's name.
So Eva, her property, because the town paid her $10,000, and her and her sister's social security numbers were written all over the place. So I mentioned this at one of the meetings, and I left, and then I've heard you guys commenting and accusing some other employees. So I'd like to clarify that at that time, Mary Allen was the finance director who provided me the information, and Abby Sherman. So just so that you guys are not accusing any other people, if you wanted to find out who it was, all you had to do is just ask me. Because I've heard you were accusing the current staff, and those people are gone. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody online?
Yes. I have 2 points of clarification, Jim.
State your name. State your name.
This is Celia Clancy.
Thank you.
I just have 2 points of clarification.
Thank you.
One, the financial controls checklist, which is pretty important. Did you table it until the next meeting, or do you see that being tabled until after the fiscal audit?
We tabled it to the next meeting for us to ask the treasurer. That's what we said.
Okay, sorry, I missed that. Thank you. And then the second thing is, in terms of the select board approving equipment, were you speaking about like a capital plan or a budget? I would think equipment would be part of our capital plan, and how does that get approved under normal circumstances? I know right now it's not normal.
Well, capital would, it's in there, and if they needed something, like if a truck broke down, or a grader broke down, or a fire truck broke down, that would be underneath the capital reserve for those different, and it would be coming through to the town manager, and then it would be coming to the board as a whole, because it would be over a certain dollar amount.
Okay,
If
thanks.
it's in small equipment and tools or whatever, we went through, if you had listened, we went through saying that there would be a 3-page sheet that was used to be done, and it would go to the administrative assistant and bookkeeper, and then it would be presented to the town manager, and if the town manager didn't feel comfortable spending those funds because of the dollar amount, then it would come to the board.
No, but I'm more asking the planning.
Let's,
So those numbers would be under our capital fund for 2026.
2027, that's not approved at this time, but there is funds, because they are reserved and restricted funds that are supposed to be there from 2026. We have not put any funds over yet from 2027, because we don't have an approved budget for 2027. But if you
Okay,
go
thanks.
into the annual report, you would be able to see how much money is billed, of how much money is in these different accounts. And as Mr. Finer had said and sent in an email, he put what accounts they would come from.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. iPhone 7, I think you told, that's Don Martin, correct? You have your hand up.
Jim,
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Just a quick question. With Patrick not being there, if anybody has any concerns in the town, who would they contact going forward
For what?
for anything? If they have a concern that they would normally go to Patrick, who do they go to now? Would that be you as the chair of the select board?
I would have to check with legal tomorrow and make sure on that.
Okay, would you be sending a notice out to people, or you'll get back to me on that?
We will find out tomorrow. When we find out tomorrow, we will post it on the website, and I will also send you an email to clarify. But just like I had said, if you had listened before with Mr. Finer coming to an employee, I just said, send an email to me, and then I brought it to the board. So if you have a concern, you can send an email to me, but I will not act on it. I will bring it to the board. Or you can wait till tomorrow for me to check with legal on how to handle it while there is a administrative leave.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anybody else online? Not hearing any select board member comments and concerns. Vito?
Nope.
Bill?
I'm good.
Roger?
I've already stated mine. I hope it's addressed.
John?
I'm good, thank you.
My only comment and concern right now is that we need to go, even though it's only 8:47, we need to go into executive session for a legal discussion at
Motion to go in.
8:47.
Motion to go in executive session at 8:47 for legal discussion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.